Hey everyone, and welcome back to another YouTube video. Today I figured that I would be teaching you how to properly install mods. I know recently The Sims 4 became free on base game, not really recently, but it feels like it was yesterday, but I think it was like last year. And so there's a lot of new Simmers in the community, and I know a lot of you guys want to play with mods, you just don't know exactly how to do that. So, as a person that plays with mods literally every single day, I figured I would show you guys how I install them safely. You want to make sure you're downloading your mods safely. So before we begin, there's a couple things I want to go over with the types of mods that you can download. There are two different types of mods in The Sims. There's scripted mods and there's regular mods. And with scripted mods, those are the ones that you see where they come in the zip folder or the RAR folders. I don't even know if I said that correctly, but you need to unzip those in order for it to work. And we'll talk about that when we get to it today, because I'm going to show you guys how to download a script mod. But it's bringing a whole new code into your game, which is why they're called script mods. Now with regular mods, it's just tweaking a code in the Sims 4 coding for the game. So it's not considered a script mod because it's just tweaking a few things. You'll see, especially if you download traits in the Sims, it's just a package file because it's adding a code into your game. It's not bringing a whole new code into your game. So that's where script mods, I know there's a lot of confusion sometimes of, okay, what do I do to make sure I'm downloading this correctly? So that is what we're going to do today. And to prep your game for adding mods into the Sims game, these are the steps that I follow. Number one, you're going to go ahead and open up your Sims 4 game. So we'll go ahead and do that. Now your next step is going to go to click on the other tab right here. And along this, you'll see a bunch of stuff on this menu. All you need to worry about is this button being checked to where it says enable all mods in game and to allow script mods as well. You want those to be both checked. Now mine are already checked because I do play with mods in CC in my game, which is custom content, if you didn't know what CC meant. Then you click on view custom content, and right here I have nothing in my game. But if you had a mod in your game, it would pop up here, your mods would pop up here, and your custom content, and then your script mods would pop up down here. And then you just click the check mark and apply changes, and your game will need to restart, which is why I like doing this first, because then when you download the mod, you don't have to restart your game. So then you just exit out of your game once that is all set up properly. So now that we're out of game, you'll go ahead and click on your File Explorer if you're on PC. If you're on Mac, it is the File little icon on your computer. It will generally be the same for both PC and Mac. So you'll go ahead and click on Documents. Once you're in your document window, you'll see Electronic Arts, which is what you want to click on. Then you click on The Sims and so forth. So you already should have a mod folder in your Sims game already. Normally it's automatically made, but if you don't, you can go ahead and make one, or you can just make a new save file in your Sims game and it should pop up then. Then you click on this little mod file, and what you want to leave the resource file in the mod folder that stays there. Don't delete it, don't take it out. If you delete it, don't worry, it will pop back up, but it's just easier to keep it in there since it's already there. So the next thing that you're going to want to do is find a mod that you want to download. For today's video, I am doing UI Cheats extension mod, which I do plan on doing a mod review in a later time, but for today's video, I figured we would start off learning how to download a mod first. I typically use Patreon to download all of my mods. There's a couple other things that I wanted to talk about once we finish downloading the mod, but he does have a Patreon website. This is free to the public, so it's not a Patreon exclusive like it is. It's free for anyone to download. It was just updated, so you're going to go ahead and scroll down to where you see the zip folder, this little blue file thing. Go ahead and click on it. It'll be downloaded and then hit open file. Now for this to unzip a folder or any type of document, you'll need to have a like a unzip thing. I know there's like WinRAR or whatever. I use BreeZip and it works perfectly fine. I downloaded it off of the Microsoft store and you just type in, you know, an unzip app or whatever. I just downloaded BreeZip and it works perfectly fine for me. You go ahead and click extraction and it'll extract it. It'll become a little folder like this. Now, here's where it gets not confusing, but you want to keep these two packages together. This is the script document and this is the package document. In some mods where it's script mods will come where it's separate, and I always create a folder for that mod just so that they're together. But these do need to stay together as far as I'm concerned. I always like to keep them together just to make sure there's no other issues. Go ahead and click out of those other files, exit out of that page, and then you have two file explore pages. So then move your UI cheats from this little window over to your mod folder. Now that you've done that, you can go ahead and exit out of your mod folder. Now the important part with that is once you've done all of that, when you're in game, do not delete a mod or add mods in while you're in game. It's not going to add it in and it's not going to take it out. You always want to go into your mod folder and delete or add in mods when you're out of game. I mean, you can open up your mod folder while you're in game. It's not going to, you know, harm anything, but to take out a mod or delete it, it's not going to do anything and it's just not good for the game. So leave it in there. If it's broken or if it's not working, exit out of your game and go from there. So we'll hop back into game now and see if it worked. As you can see, we are back in the game and our pre-screen window is up, letting us know that the mod was recognized and that it is working. Now, if you're playing with more than one mod, make sure to double check those mods to see of any conflicting mods that go with it. There are some mods that will need other mods in order to work. I know a lot of mods require the XML injector and it should say that on their description. So be sure to read the description before just downloading a mod and making sure that that works, because sometimes we will get frustrated understanding why it's not working. It's like, we've done everything that we need to do. Why isn't it working? Well, there might be more than one thing to download, but with UI Cheats extension, you just need the download file, so don't worry about having to download any other things. I did want to point out that Maxis does not pre-screen mods, so they are not combing through all the mods and going over them to make sure that they're safe. So you do want to use this with caution and just be careful about what you're downloading and what you're putting into your game. So after we've gone into the pre-screen window, you can go ahead and click the check mark button and that will let you know that it did indeed work. So we are back in game and I'm going to test it really quick to show you that it did work. I'm pretty sure that it worked. If you don't know what UI Cheats extension is, it's basically a mod that lets you cheat off the UI panel, which is basically this stuff right here. So one of the main ones that I normally use it for is just to right click their emotions away so they're not uncomfortable. Another one that's very popular is you can make them happy with it. So it did indeed work, and that is how you download a script mod. So we'll just go ahead and exit out of the game. So now that you've downloaded a mod and it is working, you are free to download however many mods you want to download. And with the regular mods, it goes the same way. You just click on the file and move it over to your mod folder. Now, there are a couple things that I do want to go over about mod safety and just keeping your game healthy so it's not too laggy. The number one thing you want to make sure when downloading mods is to make sure that they're compatible, updated, and not broken. If they're broken, then I wouldn't even download it because it's going to break your game and then you're going to have to fix it all, and that's just not fun. The other thing to do as well is I do use this website that I'll pull up really quickly to make sure that the mods are compatible, updated, and are not broken, which the website is called Scarlett's Mod List, and she basically puts out all the mods that are out there and will let you know whether they're broken, updated or compatible with the recent patch update. So here is a website that I was talking about. It's Scarlett's Realm, and this is her mod status list. It has been updated for March 20th. Up until March 20th, we did have a big patch that came out and a new expansion pack. We had Growing Together and the Infant update, which I was so happy for that one. But you can go down to on this website, and all of your mods that you probably know of are down on this list. You can sort it by latest changes / updates, and it'll show you. It's just taking its sweet time today. It'll show you the updated mods. So like all these are updated, and it shows you the last known update. Another thing I will say is also to check that creator as well to see if they've updated anything. I know she took a little break from updating the mods, so everything's been updated to March 20th, but I know there's been some updates recently with some of the patch fixes and just making sure that the game is running smoothly, so definitely go check out the mod page that you got it from and make sure that it is a verified source. I cannot stress that enough. Make sure that you are downloading it from a good website. The second thing that I wanted to cover is during patch time. Now, we do have updates from here and there, and with some updates, it does require that all of our mods get updated. I would keep track on this because you want to make sure that the mods that you're playing with are updated, because if they're not, then that can cause a whole other load of issues in your game and make it laggy and just not playable, and then you don't know what's going on. So there's a couple ways to update it. Now it's gotten a lot easier. When I first started downloading mods in game, everything was kind of like you had to do it. Now you've got mod managers out there. You've got a list out there that will tell you what's been updated and what's compatible and not. There are a couple different mods out there that will actually tell you if it's compatible or not and what it's conflicting with, and that mod is Better Exceptions by TwistedMexi, which I'll also link in this video. The last thing you want to do after you've checked the mod websites to make sure that they are updated and compatible with the recent patch updates and just the Sims game in general is, after playing with mods for a little bit, your game, you'll probably notice it's starting to lag and just might not be running as smoothly as it did in the past. So these are a couple things that you can do to help make sure that your game is running smoothly and is not lagging, because that can create a whole other list of issues too, and then you might not even want to touch the game because you can't even play it without it lagging. So these are a couple things that I do. Number one is I always make sure to repair my game every once in a while. When doing that, it just kind of goes through those files and just takes out the ones that you might not need anymore. After you repair your game, I also recommend doing this as well, just to ensure that it will be running smoothly, is to delete the folders as following. You can delete this folder right here, which is the cache folder. I'm really not sure what it does, but I just know you can delete it. You can also delete the online thumbnail cache, and you can delete this file as well, the local one, and then there was another one, and I believe you can also delete this one. Okay, so once you've highlighted those, there will be another one that is just cache, that says just the cache without the str. We didn't really do a lot of gameplay today, so it didn't pop up, but this basically kind of like holds your information. Now, when I say that, doesn't mean that it will delete your information. This is just kind of like a store to help load the houses faster and stuff like that. But after a while, because you've played The Sims for so long, it starts gathering a lot more information for all the saved files that you have, all the mods and all of that, and so it starts to slow down. So by deleting it, don't worry, it'll pop back up. You're not going to lose anything. It just helps clear out the game so that it will then take in new information and you can delete those. So I will delete mine right now. Trust me, you're not losing anything. Everything that's important is in this folder right here, which is your saves folder, which I highly recommend also making a backup saves folder for when a new patch comes out, especially if you play with mods. You don't want to lose anything, so to create that backup saves folder before going back into your game, just to make sure that everything is safe during patch time. So that is about it for what I do. I always do those 3 steps, make sure you're downloading your mods safely, make sure they're from a verified website, also make sure again that they're compatible and updated with the recent patch. Secondly, checking the websites every now and then for updates. A lot of times you can have a bug and it's not your game, it's more so the mod. So I would just keep an update on that. I always check once every 2-3 weeks just to see if there's an update for it, depending on the mod. Sometimes I'll make sure to check it a little bit more often. And then third, the last thing on that list is to just keep your game running smoothly. When you have a lot of mods like I do, sometimes your game, it has so much information in it, it can start to slow down after time. So just make sure to clear out those cache folders that I showed you and also repair the game every once in a while. For now, that's about it. I hope this helped you with modding, and if you have any questions related to mods or any mods you want me to review, please leave that in the comments below. I would love to hear from you guys on what you want me to review. I'm trying to also do a lot more mod reviews out there because there's so many great mods out there that I want to cover and just show people what you can do with them. So thank you so much for watching this video. If you liked it, please leave a like and subscribe, and I will see you next time.